Geno Smith didn't need a long statement, a press conference, or a detailed explanation after the Las Vegas Raiders decided to release him. Instead, the veteran quarterback delivered a short but powerful message on social media, just 7 words that immediately captured attention across the NFL world. Open quote, "God is the greatest. Thank you, Lord." Close quote. It was simple, defiant, and reflective of a quarterback whose career has already experienced more twists and turns than most players in the league. To understand why that message resonated with fans and analysts, it helps to look at the context surrounding Smith's release, the direction of the Raiders franchise, and the unique path that has defined Smith's career. Raiders enter a major transition. The Raiders' decision to release Smith is part of a much larger transformation happening inside the organization. When the franchise hired Super Bowl winning head coach Pete Carroll in January 2025, the move was widely seen as an attempt to bring stability to a team that had struggled with consistency for decades. Carroll's reputation as a culture builder made him an appealing choice. He had previously turned the Seattle Seahawks into one of the most dominant teams of the early 2010s and guided them to a championship in Super Bowl XL8. Alongside that coaching hire, the Raiders also acquired Geno Smith, a quarterback Carroll knew well from their years together in Seattle. The idea behind those moves seemed clear. Las Vegas wanted leadership, experience, and a steady hand at the most important positions in the organization. Unfortunately, things didn't work out the way the franchise hoped. A season that fell apart. The Raiders' 2025 season quickly spiraled into disappointment. Smith's performance wasn't disastrous, but it also didn't resemble the efficient quarterback who had revitalized his career with the Seahawks just a few seasons earlier. He finished the year with respectable numbers in terms of passing yards and touchdowns, but the offense struggled with turnovers and inconsistency throughout the season. More importantly, the team simply didn't win games. The Raiders finished the year with a 3-14 record, the worst in the entire NFL. For a franchise that entered the season hoping to compete for a playoff spot, that result forced serious internal reflection. When teams finish with league's worst record, changes almost always follow. And in Las Vegas, those changes came quickly. Coaching change signals new direction. One of the most surprising decisions came when the Raiders moved on from Carroll after just one season. Replacing him is former Seahawks offensive coordinator Klint Kubiak, who at 39 years old represents a much younger and more modern coaching approach. Kubiak had recently helped guide Seattle to another Super Bowl victory, and his offensive system is widely viewed as one of the more creative schemes in the league. The decision to hire him signaled that the Raiders are starting a completely new chapter. Young head coach, new quarterback likely coming, and potentially major roster changes on both sides of the ball. The quarterback situation. Perhaps the biggest reason the Raiders were comfortable moving on from Smith is their position in the upcoming draft. With the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, Las Vegas is widely expected to select Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Mendoza enters the league with enormous hype. He won the Heisman Trophy and led Indiana to its first national championship in school history, making him one of the most decorated quarterback prospects in recent years. For a franchise in need of a long-term answer at quarterback, that opportunity is difficult to pass up. Drafting Mendoza would signal that the Raiders are committing to a full rebuild centered around a young star. Could Smith have stayed as a mentor? Some observers wondered whether Smith could remain with the team as a mentor for Mendoza during his rookie season. There is logic to that idea. Veteran quarterbacks often help young passers adjust to the speed and complexity of the NFL, but the financial reality made that scenario difficult. Smith's contract carried a significant salary cap hit, and the Raiders clearly decided that those resources would be better used elsewhere during the rebuild. By releasing Smith, the team frees up cap space while clearing the path for a new quarterback era. Another possible major move. Smith might not be the only major departure this offseason. There is also speculation that star defensive end Max Crosby could be traded as part of the team's rebuilding process. Crosby has been one of the Raiders' best players for several seasons, and is widely considered one of the top edge rushers in football. If the team decides to move him for draft picks, it would signal an even deeper commitment to a long-term rebuild. For Raiders fans, that possibility is both exciting and unsettling. Rebuilds offer hope for the future, but they also require patience. Geno Smith's perspective. While the franchise moves in a new direction, Smith's reaction suggests he isn't dwelling on the situation. His 7-word message, "God is the greatest, thank you, Lord," reflects gratitude rather than frustration. That mindset isn't surprising when you consider the ups and downs of his career. Few quarterbacks in the league have experienced a journey quite like Smith's. A career full of highs and lows. Smith originally entered the NFL when the New York Jets selected him in the second round of the 2013 NFL Draft. Early expectations were high. Many believed he could become the long-term starter in New York. But his first few seasons were rocky, and he eventually lost his starting job. For several years afterward, Smith became a journeyman quarterback, serving as a backup with multiple teams. At one point, his career seemed destined to remain in that role permanently. The Seattle comeback. Everything changed when Smith joined the Seahawks. After spending time as a backup behind Russell Wilson, Smith finally received another chance to start when Wilson was traded. What happened next shocked the entire NFL. Smith delivered one of the most unexpected breakout seasons in recent memory, earning Pro Bowl honors in both 2022 and 2023 while leading Seattle to playoff contention. His comeback story became one of the most inspiring narratives in the league. The phrase he famously used during that season, "They wrote me off, but I ain't right back though," became a symbol of perseverance. Why his message matters. That history makes Smith's recent social media post even more meaningful. For a player who has already fought through career setbacks and public criticism, another release doesn't carry the same weight it might for others. Smith has already proven he can bounce back, and at 35 years old, he still has the experience and ability to help another team. What happens next? The next chapter of Smith's career could take several different paths. Some teams may view him as a reliable veteran backup. Others might see him as a bridge starter while developing a younger quarterback. Quarterback depth is always valuable in the NFL, and Smith's experience makes him an attractive option for multiple franchises. Teams like the Minnesota Vikings, Pittsburgh Steelers, or New York Jets could potentially explore bringing him in, depending on their own quarterback situations. A career defined by resilience. In many ways, Smith's short message captured the essence of his career: gratitude, resilience, and confidence that another opportunity will come. The Raiders may be turning the page and preparing to build around a new quarterback, but Geno Smith's story in the NFL is far from finished. If his career has taught fans anything, it's that writing him off has rarely been the right move.